wasn't here last month because of this, and I came tonight just because of Corey. So many of you here thought I had kind of lost it, or I was a little crazy when I was first out of the gate for President Trump. And so told you so. So anyway, I'm here for Corey tonight, and I want to tell you why I have personally endorsed him. But I also want to say that I am not speaking as the State Director of Virginia Women for Trump or for RWC. It's just for me personally, and I have made that very clear on Facebook, because everyone has the right to their own opinion and to choose their own candidate. But for me, it's Corey. I got to know him very well as we traveled the state campaigning for Mr. Trump. And as you know, he's the chairman of the Board of Supervisors in Prince William County, which makes him the only elected official running for governor. That means he's governed. That means he's done things. And if you look at what he's done for Prince William County, he has a very good record. He was, before President Trump, he was out there on the illegal immigration issue, which is, he took the flak for it. He also took the flak when he came out first for President Trump, candidate at the time, and he sacrificed a year without campaigning for himself to support our now wonderful president. And so now we come to the question that everyone has, and Corey doesn't even know I'm going to address, but I think it's necessary. And that is, so why did he get fired in October? Well, you've all heard over the past couple of days the things that Paul Ryan said at that time and was saying, and other people. It was indefensible, it was this, they'd never vote for him, never Trump, blah, 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 blah. So Corey called me up and suggested that Virginia Women for Trump go and rally and show our support. So we were absolutely excited about that. So we got our banner out and we went out down there, and the first lineup, I think we were about 4 or 5 either presidents or former presidents of clubs, and we were there for that purpose. Without going into a lot of detail, it became personal as far as Corey was concerned, and it became nasty and it became mean, and his Scottish temper came out just a little bit. And he did what President Trump has often done, as he called somebody a not very nice name. But he was absolutely right on. They were taking money out of Virginia. I have since done research, and I have personally spoken to at least 12 people who had the phone call saying, you either resign or go to North Carolina. These were people who had families who couldn't even do that if they wanted to. So that was true, and Corey was very concerned about that, and as we all were at the time. And of course, as Virginia Women for Trump, we were 100% behind him, and we were there for that purpose only. So I hope that takes it off the table for you and gives you some information to give to other people when they ask about it. If they want more, call me. So I'm very, very proud to stand behind Corey as someone who, what did he do then? He did not go out and defend himself. I know, I've got to say this. He did not go out defending himself. He remained loyal. Loyalty in friendship, in politics, anywhere, is #1 as far as I'm concerned. And Corey Stewart was loyal, and he campaigned right up until the 11th hour for Mr. Trump. So I hope you will all take that into consideration when you're considering who to vote for in the primary for the nominee for governor. It's my pleasure now to introduce Corey Stewart.
Thanks, Alice. Thanks. You gotta be careful of Alice's right shoulder. Well, good afternoon. It's good evening, rather. It seems like afternoon. Maria and I are traveling all across Virginia every single day. Rain or shine, snow, sleet, doesn't matter. We're out there. Yesterday, when they canceled school, and Maria and I, we canceled a trip down to Farmville, which is about 3.5 hours south of here. And the kids were in the house. They were cranky, fighting with each other, and I looked at Maria and I said, you know what? The snow's not that bad. Let's go down to Farmville. So we did. We really did. It's been a lot of fun. And it was a lot of fun for a year to travel around with Alice campaigning for then candidate Trump. We had a lot of great times, and Alice and I traveled all across Virginia for about 10 months. Last summer at the National Convention in Cleveland, Marie and I were there, and Alice was there, and we kind of lost track of each other during Mr. Trump's speech. So we were walking up into the hallway, and we saw these paramedics rushing this woman through the crowd. And we're like, oh my gosh, whatever happened? And Maria said, oh my gosh, that's Alice. It was Alice. Alice dropped an entire flight of steps, like 6 concrete steps. She was wearing these huge heels. I mean, they were like foot tall. And they were like Trump heels. They were the big American flag things. And we got in there. It looked terrible. We were really, really worried. And the next day, we got a text from Alice early in the morning, and there she was inside of the hospital in Cleveland, in a wheelchair with a "Make America Great," safe, "Make America Safe," a Trump poster, and this is the morning of her when she broke her shoulder. So really, that says something about you, Alice, the toughest person I know. So we've got a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of work to do in Virginia, and as you know, in Northern Virginia, we've got a lot of work to do. But don't think for a moment that hope is lost. It's not. We knew, the Trump campaign knew, that it was going to be very, very difficult as soon as Hillary Clinton chose Senator Kaine as her running mate, that with the favorite son on the ballot, is going to be very hard to win Virginia. Add on top of that the fact that the Clinton campaign outspent the Trump campaign. We don't know the exact number right now, but it's somewhere between 15 and 20 times more. So 15 to 1, 20 to 1, somewhere in that ballpark. We were outspent. We could have won Virginia. We could have spent a little bit more money, but at the end of the day, the campaign had to make some decisions, and it was decided that we had a chance of winning Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, and North Carolina than Virginia. Turned out probably to be the right decision at the end of the day. But we could have won Virginia. And in fact, the fact that we worked so hard in Virginia, all of you worked so hard in Virginia, meant that the Clinton campaign had to try to hold on the fort. They had to defend Virginia, and that kept resources from going to Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. So every day I wake up and sometime mid-morning, I'm like, thank God we have a real president of the United States of America. And we have a lot to do with that. Now, as for Virginia this year, we're going to win it. The Democrats are in complete disarray. They don't know what's going on. Everywhere you go, they're just going crazy. About 4 weeks ago, I went down to Charlottesville to defend a Confederate statue, Robert E. Lee, where the socialists down there, really socialists, in the city of Charlottesville voted 3-2 to remove a statue of Robert E. Lee that had been there since 1924. So when we got down there, and I went down there with an African-American conservative activist, his name is Dion, and he's got a couple of million followers on Facebook. And we were met by a massive mob of leftist protesters. And they were yelling at us. Now this is, Dion, African-American, and then myself. And you know what they were yelling at us? White supremacists go home. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Dion looked around back at them and said, how come you're yelling at me that I'm a white supremacist when you are all white? And he was the only black guy in the audience. That's how Looney Tune the left has become. And they've been following me around. They went to my board meeting. Just wait. Harity. They're going to come to your board meeting soon too, don't worry. But they came to our board meeting in Prince William County. They came down to my rally down in Richmond. They were yelling very, very nasty things down in Richmond. We had a family there in Richmond. The father and the mother had lost their daughter because of a criminal, illegal alien. There was another girl down there who we remembered. Her name is Brittany Binger, 16-year-old girl, abducted, raped, mutilated, and murdered by a criminal, illegal alien who had previously been apprehended in Virginia, identified as an illegal alien, and who was let go. And those pathetic protesters down there in Richmond were protesting the family of that girl and the other girls. That is how despicable the left has become in our country and in our state. We're not going to stand down to them. We're going to stand up to them. We are not going to let the left dictate the agenda on any issue. And I know there are a lot of important issues this year. Taxes, economic growth, the loss of jobs. We're losing about 10,000 jobs in Virginia every single year, a lot to surrounding states like North Carolina, which has got a lower tax bill. But folks, we have to stand up for our culture. We can't just keep losing these cultural battles, because the left figured out a long time ago that if you control the language, if you control the culture, you win the argument at the end of the day. And that is why it's so important. This statue down in Charlottesville isn't just about this statue. This is about fighting for our very heritage, our history, our culture. Now, I wasn't born in Virginia, and I know a lot of you probably weren't either. But we chose this state. We chose the state because we love this state, we love its heritage, we love its history, we love Virginia. And when we did that, the state adopted us, and we adopted the state. And so it is our responsibility to stand up for it. And when the left comes down and says, look, we're going to take down the statue of Robert E. Lee, you know something to remember about him? He was the last person, and all of us in Northern Virginia should know that. And we have Arlington House here in our backyard, in our front yard. He was the last person who wanted to secede from the Union, the last one. And he would not bear arms against his native Virginia. And when the war was over, he was the very epitome of reconciliation. He wanted to bring the country back together. It was because of his example that our country reconciled and healed generations before it otherwise would have healed. And so we need to respect him, and we need to honor those Virginians who put that statue there in 1924 because they wanted to remember him. And it's our job to do that. And I, as governor, will, over my dead body, will any locality, whether it's Charlottesville or Richmond or Petersburg or any locality, remove a statue or a memorial to any war hero in the Commonwealth of Virginia. I'm not going to let that happen. Now, on June 13th, you've got a lot of, there are 4 of us running, but I want to let you know something, and you know this because you're neighboring here in Fairfax, and I've been chairman of the at-large in Prince William County. We're not quite as democratic as you are here in Fairfax, but I run countywide in Prince William County, 454,000 residents. I've won 4 elections there by increasing margins. It's 54% minority. In fact, we're the first locality in Northern Virginia with a majority minority population. And I've stood strong on reducing taxes. Our taxes are about 30% lower than those in Fairfax County. I've stood strong in putting the nation's toughest crackdown on illegal immigration. I've never backed down. I never will. I will be a strong governor, and if you want a governor who's going to stand up for you and your conservative values, and somebody who knows how to win, even here in Northern Virginia, then I ask for your vote on June 13th. Thank you very much.